This week's parsha is called Vayetze, which means, and he went. Jacob is on his way out of town where he was, where his brother Esav is really upset and wants to kill him, and on his way to a place called Haran to get away from his brother and to find his future wife from among his cousins. Bush, Bush! What the official world record is for longest time someone did not sleep, I don't know. What that is, I don't know either. I think that perhaps the world record should really go to Jacob, our forefather, who the Torah tells us did not sleep for 14 years straight, day and night, while he was learning, studying Torah in yeshiva. But in this week's Torah portion, the Torah records the first time that Jacob did lay down to sleep after these 14 years. And this was when he was on his way to this place called Haran. He ends up on the Temple Mount, Mount Moriah, the future site of the Holy Temple. And he goes to sleep. Our question now is, why? Why did he choose to go to sleep suddenly now after 14 years of staying awake? Well, of course, Jacob's choice of when to sleep
contains deep significance.
Yes, when our forefather Jacob chose to finally go to sleep after 14 years. Of course, like everything in Torah, when our forefather Jacob finally chose to go to sleep, now, after these 14 years of remaining awake, and even where he slept, on this holy site, has very deep significance and teaches us a very important lesson. Ridiculous. Sleep. Although necessary for the healthy functioning and performance of the body, and in fact, we are required by Torah law to get an adequate amount of sleep. But sleep symbolizes a spiritual downfall. Now, what in the rubble does that mean? One of the, unfortunately not so many, basic distinctions between us humans and animals is that we're not having our head bent over, always looking at the ground all day, meaning our head is above all else, and we can look upwards. We can aspire to higher things than the food on the floor. Our head thus represents our spiritual side, while our feet represent our physical side. The thing with sleep is that when lying down, your head and feet are on the same level. And that shows on a certain state of attributing just as much importance to your feet as you would to your head, attributing just as much value to the physical as you should to the spiritual. But if you look at it even deeper, physical and spiritual being of equal value is actually an underlying truth of reality. What? Well, God created this lovely world. God created all the things in this lovely world, and even the not lovely things. God created you and me and all of us people and other creatures. And in fact, God currently is creating us. God constantly recreates everything, all the physical stuff, and the little bit we know about spirituality. God created both, the physical and spiritual, both creations of the one true God. So, as they are both nothing but creations, physicality and spirituality are essentially equal. Ultimately, it's all godliness. Jacob has now left his spiritual, blissful life in yeshiva and is on his way into what people call the real world. He's about to get his hands involved in the physical. So now Jacob sleeps. And in the holiest of places. This was no mistake. Jacob was demonstrating, Jacob was displaying that life is a fusion of the spiritual and physical. And although we are not yet living in this dimension where we can practically attribute just as much importance to the physical as we do to the spiritual, we will hasten the time when we will be living in this dimension openly by already touching our toes to the waters of this dimension, blurring the line between spiritual and physical on our terms by bringing spirituality and holiness into everything physical that we do. And through doing this, we'll be showing God, hey, we should be living in this dimension on your terms. May this be now, and don't just ask for it. Demand it, and don't just demand it with your actions, but demand it with your voice, which I'm losing. Actually verbally tell God, God, we want Moshiach now.
'Cause every good deed that you do and every kind word that you say has a way.
Because I want this video to be over so we can start editing, and by we I mean me, but it's for we because I want you to get this video ASAP so we and by we I mean we, can get to work ASAP infusing everything physical in our life with spirituality, thereby in our actions showing God, let's have this for real. Bring on this dimension where spirituality and physicality probably won't even be terms anymore.